What is good, everybody? What is good? I know y'all was here like an hour ago. This is all Mike's fault. His ass fell asleep, but I can't blame him. I done did this many a times. What's up, Tay Cowboys? I done did this many a times. Fell asleep at the driving wheel. But we in these streets. We in these Cowboy streets, and we was in these Mavs streets earlier today. I'm gonna just talk about this real quick. We was talking about it off air about my Dallas Mavericks. I'm gonna just tell you how I feel about it real quick. I mean, I was stunned like everybody else. Like, you got a generational player like that stings. Like, I never thought that was gonna happen. Like, nobody did, right? And we all.
Mm-mm.
But if now it's over, okay, it's over. And I'm gonna just tell you, for me, I don't fall in love with players. I don't fall in love with them. It hurt when I initially saw it. I was like, I'm done. But you know what? I had to. That was my quick emotion, right quick. I had to get out the emotional part of it. But I'm a Mavs fan, so if you look at it, the worst part of it is, yes, you lost Luka, and that's terrible. But the worst part of it is that we just talked about it was the return. You should have got at least 4 first-round picks for this dude and an Anthony Davis. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should have got that, for which you had a generational type player. For you to only get a first-round pick for 2019 is absolutely crazy. I think that's the biggest problem I have with it. And that you didn't, Nico, I just feel like, bro, like, you didn't tell nobody this. You didn't tell nobody this. I think that's the thing that really, you backdoor motherfuckers, in my opinion. Like, you backdoor people. Like, so I think those are the two things that really just bother me about it, is that you don't tell nobody about this, because it probably would have been t- crazy, but you didn't tell nobody. It's like you kind of went behind people's back with it, and then you didn't get the return that you should have got for a caliber player like that. That's my problem. But if we talking about the team that is constructed now, this Mavs team ain't no bad team. I know y'all, everybody's gonna hate Luka gone, but if you look at Kyrie, they still got Clay. I ain't saying he the claim, but he still can shoot. They got PJ. They got their front court is ridiculous now, because now the Mavs have a real life. It's injuries. That's the biggest problem. The injuries. If they're healthy, that's a huge if. We already know, because guys are sitting out today. I know all this, so I'm not trying to make it feel better. But what I'm saying, the reality is, if they go in these playoffs healthy, and you got AD with Gafford and Lively in that front court, they was beating OKC without Luka. Okay, they beat OKC the last 2 times without Luka. So they can beat the top seed, and they can bang with anybody with having Anthony Davis. You can beat the Denver Nuggets now. Like, you didn't play them last year, but if you played them last year, I don't think you would have beat them with that inside presence. Now you got inside guys in there. And you still have Najee, and Dante Exum just came back. So you have guard play. You don't have Luka. I get it, but you still are constructed to win, and you can still win a championship with this. That's just my opinion. So I don't fall in love with players. Some of these
Thank you,
people
bro.
I see on in these Twitter streets are going to the extreme, in my opinion. I'm not doing that. So that's just my take on it.
Yeah. Um, Basically that. I really don't have anything to add. What I sorry, what I don't get is people acting like, how can you trade him? I mean, this type of shit happens all the time. Big dudes get moved all the time. Big names get moved all the time, especially in the NBA. We see it. What you usually see is a 3 month drama play out, like they're doing with Jimmy Butler in Miami right now. That's
Hmm.
usually what you see. The issue I come into it is the compensation. I ain't no NBA guy, but I know sports. You just traded Josh Allen and you got back a first round pick and fucking Daniel Jones. A first round pick, like, I don't know, 5 years from now, and Daniel Jones. That is my issue. You got absolutely railroaded. And this, to me, I've been talking about this off and on with you, because we touch on that sometimes when the Cowboys, the season's over. That owner, now they don't got to pay him Supermax. He ain't
Mm-hmm.
Supermax eligible, you know, and, I have my feelings on giving Luka $345 million guaranteed, but I bet my reason for not doing it is different than theirs. I guarantee you that. The Mavs will be in Vegas. The lease of the AAC runs out in 2026. They'll be in Vegas in 2027.
We'll see.
That team's gone. That team was 100% gone. And this is part of it. Now you get in there and you know, oh man, that's
What's
what these
going
people
on,
do.
everybody?
That's
I'm just
what.
giving shout
Thank y'all
outs
for
for
coming out.
Gina.
Sorry for the
No,
delay,
Calvin
guys.
Johns, Jefferson, my sis Sigadiqua, Big Tarzan, Ice Cold Cowboy, my dog Keystone.
Hell yeah,
You
thank
know it,
y'all,
cuz
thank y'all.
we appreciate all y'all. Keep on coming in. We already getting a nice crowd, so they was waiting for this. But I feel what you're saying, not to cut you off, dog. I feel what you're saying about that part of it. They had really had major concerns about them legs, and they
Hmm.
had major concerns about that conditioning, and they thought that long term this was going to be a major issue with this.
This is
And
his.
as I
This is his hobby. The NBA is his hobby, and people get confused when I say that. I've said that online several thousand times, not several thousand, but several hundred times. And people, well, they just went to the finals. He's, MVP candidate. This, that, the other. Yeah, yeah. Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
oh, his talent took him. His talent is that, but
Yep.
health concerns can change things, and that's all I'm
And
saying. If
his
this is
his
true.
buy-in, that overseas tournament in the summer means more to him. He could get, I guarantee you, that man could have 5 NBA titles. And if he didn't get one overseas, he would be upset. That's how much that means to him over the NBA. The NBA funds his or off-season activities, should I say? And
Well,
that's not what you want from your star player. I'm sorry. It's like say fucking Tom Brady every offseason there was this random football tournament in Spain, and it didn't matter how the regular season ended. Let's go see what's up in this thing in Spain. And then he shows up and he's probably nursing an injury that from a hit he took in that Spanish league. And you're like, what the hell, man?
oh, he would. This man would love that.
Oh shit.
Kind of a
That's
lot with the
proper
9.99.
compensation.
If the
That's
Cowboys
proper compensation.
traded Parsons and got 3 first-round picks and 2 second rounds over 3 years, how would y'all both feel?
There is not a player in the league outside of Patrick Mahomes that I wouldn't take that compensation for. Full stop. I talked about it the other day. Like Tyreek Hill, Kansas City would
That'd be
not be.
hard to pass up, buddy. That would
Yeah,
be
Tyreek,
that
Kansas
would be
City
hard
would
to pass.
not be playing next weekend without doing the Tyreek Hill trade. They wouldn't.
And everybody
Between
thought they were gonna
McDuffie,
fall off. Everybody thought
between
they were gonna
between
fall off,
between McDuffie and Pacheco and
but they still
Karloff,
had Pat Mahomes, so that's a different situation, in my opinion. It
scared money don't make money, Bubba. Scared
no,
money
I
don't
ain't
make
talking
money.
about that. No, I ain't talking about that. I think you can trust a Pat Mahomes more because he's going to be in that gym. He's going to work. Like he's going to show you every bit of the leader he
I don't know
is.
if
So
he'd
you
be at the
feel
gym.
confident. Huh?
I don't
You
know
said
if he'll
what?
be at the gym.
Well, I'm not talking about being in the gym, but I feel like he's dedicated to his craft. I feel like he's
Yeah,
definitely dedicated to his craft, film study, things of those nature. It can't just be all natural ability what you're doing right now. It can't be.
no,
No,
no, it's
that's
not.
not. That's you.
He
That's
has.
in the game of football and studying the game of football.
I think that's autism or something. I don't know. That man's brain operates at a different like speed than other people's brains. But that's
Right.
great quarterbacks in general. I think I've always thought that like great quarterbacks, they're because they've done this survey on fighter pilots and their pattern recognition and their intuition and how quick they clock things with they can actually do these tests. There's a damn it, I'm blanking on the name, but how fast they recognize patterns and pick up on movement and stuff like that with the fighter pilots,
Mm-hmm.
the great ones.
Mm-hmm.
I swear to God, if they put the best quarterbacks in that same test, they would be on that level of your top fighter pilots. They just recognize and see stuff different than every other person on the planet. Like that, just that pattern recognition and the way their brain could clock and process information. I mean, you see, like I talk about it. I've talked about it for years with the dumb eyes. You see the dumb eyes on quarterbacks,
Mm-hmm.
and unfortunately, Josh Allen gets it. You know, he goes off vibes. You see these dudes, Mahomes, Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, Tom Brady. You see them, their eyes. It's like you can almost see just Matrix 1 0 0 0 1 1 1 0 0 0, and they just recognize and see the world different than everyone else around them. And that's what makes them them.
Hmm. Well,
And Luca has that. The difference is these other guys are doing everything else to be on top as well. You know, Tom Brady didn't eat strawberry seeds because he thought they caused inflammation. You know, just weird psycho shit like that to do every single thing they can to be at the top of their game. Even though Mahomes looks like a damn Gumby, I guarantee you that dude's in shape. You go, I guarantee you that dude could probably run a marathon right now if he wanted. You know what I mean?
yeah,
He just looks the way he
he's never
looks.
going to have that. He's just there's certain people out there that they can just be really good. AKA Tom Brady. He didn't have nobody. He didn't have anything to look at.
You
Peyton
MMA guy?
Manning, Drew Brees. Like these guys weren't. When you looked at him physically imposing, I could stand in front of Drew Brees and wouldn't pick him out of that. He was one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. I couldn't pick him out. You get what I'm
I've
saying?
stood
So
I've stood 2 feet from him and been like, what the?
exactly, he's an average man. But if you are really endowed into your craft, it takes you to that next level and it has to be that part of it. So it is what it is. We'll see what happens going forward. But I'm not turning in my Mav card, at least right now. If y'all go to move to Las Vegas, I don't know about that because the reason why I do like y'all is because y'all the Mavs and you in Dallas. If they move out, I don't know. But that's a whole nother conversation. But let's talk about these Cowboys because now everybody's saying Nico's the worst GM in Dallas now. He overtook Jerry Jones. Everybody hates Nico Harrison. He's the worst GM ever. Everybody loved him just about
18
20
hours
hours
ago.
ago. 20 hours ago, he was the talk of the town. Now he's the most hated person in Dallas right now. So you overtook Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is probably happy to see that news. Like, yeah, they're talking about them and they ain't saying nothing bad about us. So that's good. But let's talk about these Cowboys. And we talked about the hire Schottenheimer last time we went live. You didn't like, you called him Schottenheimer. I didn't like that because I feel like the dude's a good dude. But now we're talking about the staff. So going forward, I'm gonna name some people on the staff, and then just kind of give me your thoughts on how the staff is being put together. Is it a Schottenheimer staff? Is he one making these choices? And overall, what's your thoughts? So you got pass game coordinator Andre Curtis, defensive line coach who's been kind of ballyhooed, Aaron Whitecotton from the Jets. He was instrumental in helping Quentin Williams, Will McDonald, Jermaine Johnson, John Franklin Myers. They've had a pretty good, front line over there. Linebacker coach Dave Borgonzi. And then another big name that just came in the fold from the Arizona Cardinals, Clayton, get the name, Mr. Clayton Adams. We saw with the run game, we saw what they did against Dallas, but we've seen the run game and what it's done over there with Arizona. So from afar, the thing that I noticed, Mike, before you dabble in for your answers, the thing that I noticed is that it has heavy Pete Carroll, um, heavy Seattle ties. Even Schottenheimer always he's always alluding to my time in Seattle, my time in Seattle, my time around Pete Carroll. Um, so it looks like that's the influx because a lot of these guys, and of course Matt Eberflus, who we knew that was going to come back, but it seems like that's the theme. We have a lot of guys that were around the Pete Carroll tree. This is, are we going to have a carbon copy of what we saw in Seattle transform into Dallas? Kind of wish. Give me just your thoughts on what's going on.
Shout out to the Pete Carroll news, huh? That came out. Gary was
Mm.
enamored with him. Hey, I told y'all in November. So, um, there's that. I like what I see, man. Now we got to figure out this. If this all have they hired? I'm sorry, I took a nap. Have they hired an offensive line coach today? Have they put that name out yet? Because
They haven't.
I
They
believe.
haven't. I don't. I don't know if they have an offensive line coach. I know they're interviewing. I believe running backs coach with Ternard Choice. I
Mm,
believe is being interviewed, and they have another guy from Oregon. But from afar, staff looks legit,
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Let's see if they let them do their job, and
that's
that's
going to be
always
the.
that's
But here's the
yeah.
thing. I want to talk to you about this though, Mike. This is what I was saying. For Schottenheimer, right? If you have Jerry Jones in the interview, right? And he's saying this is the biggest gamble I've took in a very long time, right? And just forget about what he talks about here. I'm just talking about the football part of it. This is what I'm saying. Don't you think, just like I thought they would do it, a Kellen Moore, because they're picking this and nobody agrees with this. I mean, so many people hated on this hire. So many people talk trash about it. Don't you think, especially Stephen, because they said he liked him too, that they would really kind of move out the box, maybe move out the box just to prove people right that, yeah, see, this was our choice. We told you he was good. So this actually might help us as Cowboy fans, that because they picked this dude and they didn't pick, a name brand guy or the popular guy, because they want to be right so well, they'll actually do something in free agency. They'll actually make some moves because they want to be right. Would you feel me in that aspect?
I mean, that's a great theory. I'd love to see it play out. You know, there's a bunch of consternation and hand wringing and ham hawing and all this we can do about it in the moment, but we will not know until June
Mm-hmm.
how they're approaching this whole thing. And we talked about it when he got hired. It's like, oh, well, Dak signed off. Yeah, they interviewed two guys, and one guy told me he didn't want the job.
Mm-hmm.
So the process is my problem.
Right.
Doesn't matter if it works out. I mean, it does matter if it works out, but it doesn't change the fact of how they went about things to find him in the first place. The process is my problem. If it works out, great. These coaching hires are looking solid. You know, and I like my favorite thing on Twitter is like when you see people get mad as hell when they about a assistant coach hire and they didn't even know the dude's name till they seen it
Mm.
on their damn feed. You know what I mean?
Oh
I got
yeah.
all
I
these
mean,
opinions. I didn't even
bruh,
know this motherfucker existed until it hit
bruh,
my feed, and I'm mad. I have opinions.
bruh. I said this same thing too, Mike. That some you can tell people by who they follow, because you're
Yeah,
just regurgitating what they say. You see it all the time on Twitter, talking about, oh, this guy's a great offensive line coach, blah blah blah. I see people on there retweeting you. I ain't never hear you mention this dude in your life, but I'm gonna just keep it real. I just say I sit on there. I don't know some of these guys, but I went on there and watched some tape. I didn't know about White Cotton over there with the Jets. You get what I'm saying? But I
I was
delved back
more,
in his
I was
history.
more of a Brian Red Rice type of guy. You know,
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
you didn't even know this
it's
man
fun. It's
existed.
you right. It's so funny how all these people in Dallas that like, oh, that was a great coaching hire. I ain't heard of. Yeah, they want. It's so funny,
They,
Mike.
they just want
You're
to be in
so
the
right
club.
in.
They
Yes,
want to be in the
they want to be
club.
in the club. They want to be in the club. Oh, I said it on Twitter first. This was a great hire, A plus. Yeah, I ain't never heard you mention this dude ever on Twitter. No, nothing ever.
No, you can go
Cut it
search their
out, but
tweets.
it's cool.
You go.
Yep, searching tweets. You've been watching people's tweets. It's so funny. I
It
say it
happens
all the
with shit
damn
I
time.
say. I see people
It
that
happens
follow
with
me, and
stuff
I
I
mean no
say.
disrespect. Yeah, I mean no
And
disrespect,
because
but
I'm
like
just big game James and I ain't on that
like
higher
the,
level,
have your own
people take my
have
stuff
your own
all the
opinion.
time, Mike.
Have your own.
You feel me?
And what's worse is when they misconstrue my message. Like
Right.
let's circle back to the Luka thing. Be like,
Hmm.
I'll see somebody say, well, Mike didn't like his ass. No way. Said he was fat. It's like, I said he was fat. I didn't say I didn't like him. I said I
You
hate
do
when he
that to
leaves
me
on
though
the.
with Dak. Say you don't.
You don't like his ass?
Yeah. See what I'm saying? You're doing the same thing to me. I never said I didn't
But
like Dak. I said he
I've
needs to
never.
play better in big games. How did I not say that?
I don't misconstrue you online. You lie. You a lie.
Bruh,
You a
you
lie.
know it's true.
You a lie.
It's not a true. I don't dislike Dak Prescott, bro. I don't.
I'm
I
just
said
saying,
the
like
man's
when people take your message
people think
and
it's
they
so funny
repackage
because
it
no,
and they
yes,
and they
the same way
misconstrue.
you talk about how they do you with Luka, bro, they do me with Dak. As soon as I say, damn, it sucks that Jaden Daniels and Jalen Hurts are in a championship game and this guy's in the Super Bowl again and my quarterback hasn't did it. That makes me think. I get frustrated. And oh yeah, but this about that, blah 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 blah. You just hate him.
Hey,
You just hate him. You always hated him. You always hated Dak Prescott. I'm like, bro, you have not followed me because 2017 I was defending this mofo for damn near 6 years, but now it's like you got to play better in big games. I'm sorry, that don't
it's
mean I
it's
don't like you.
it is. You're bringing out a vacuum scenario. You can't do a Dak tweet. Nobody can do a Dak tweet.
I can't do a
Any
Dak tweet. I'm not loud.
nobody can do a Dak. You
Y'all can
a
do Dak
Dak
tweets
tweet.
because y'all be defending them. If I go against them, the killer bees
No,
attack
you
me.
can't. You can't say shit positive. You can't say shit negative because if you say shit negative, somebody jumps on you. If you say shit positive, be like, oh, what about? It's like you can't do a Dak tweet. You can't.
You're right.
Nobody.
You're right.
Nobody.
That's why I
No.
try to stay away from him because I know what's gonna go on when I say something about Dak, either good or bad. People are gonna like,
Like
bro. They were
they
going
talk
after
about,
me
oh,
for
he
two
sucks in the
hours.
playoffs. Yeah, he's 0-3 in the playoffs when a team scores 30 or more points. Right? Tom Brady has 49 playoff appearances. In those 49 playoff appearances, he had 7 instances where the team scored more than 30 points. He's 2-7 in those games. Patrick Mahomes is 2-5 in the games. Or sorry, 2-3 in the games where somebody scores more than 30 points. Dak is 0-3. He should be 1-3. The Rams game. Everybody, like, we know he won that Rams game. They lost. That man played well enough to win the game. So it's, that's, but anyway, back to the, coaching thing. We're talking about like, uh, White Cotton. That's a good high. You didn't know this
Yeah, and
motherfucker.
Clayton
You didn't
Adams,
know
like
this
it's like
motherfucker
everybody.
existed an
I ain't
hour
never
ago.
heard him. Yeah, it's so funny. I like I said, I didn't know about him. I know your run game was. I knew the run game was great, and I knew your defensive line is pretty good, but I didn't know these guys' names. But now you know their names, so now you go research them, and then you're like, hey, it
Yeah,
looks like this could
cool.
be pretty
It
good.
look
But the people
that's
who instantly jump on Twitter talking about this is a great freaking hire as soon as they talk about his name being out there. Oh, this is a great hire, and I'm like, oh my god, just cut it out. You don't know, but y'all want to be in the club so bad. So just go be in the club. I don't want to be in the club anyway, and I ain't in the
no.
club. I
I'm
don't care
outside.
about your damn club. I'm outside the club.
I
They
forgot
don't
my
let me in
ID.
the club. They make me pay $50 to get in the club. They make them
Hey,
pay five. You know what I'm saying?
I
It is
can't
what
bring
it
I
is.
can't bring my gun, so I can't get in the club, and I'm not going around that many people without my
I
strap
can't.
on me.
I
I'm,
can't get in the club.
I'm just not doing
It is
it.
what it is. I'm cool with not being in the club. But I'm gonna get this other question from my dog Kenneth Lott with another 9.99. Holly says, "Will the Cowboys remain a passing team with offense going through Dak's arm, or revert back to Dak's first 3 years?"
The
Appreciate the holler.
offense, the offense always went through Dak's arm. That's the biggest misconception about his career. Is without that man playing superhuman on third down, you don't make the playoffs. You don't. This
Now there
archaic.
was a time in 2017 he wasn't the guy that he wasn't the passing back. He
No,
wasn't.
when he had the yet. So Tyron Smith was out. Zeke got his ass suspended.
Right.
Chaz Green was out there playing. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That shit went bad, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, that's sophomore slump. What happened to CJ
Yeah,
Stroud this year?
you're right. You're right.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So people put so much weight on 2017, and they always forget to finish the story. Dak Prescott's the only quarterback I've ever seen pull out of the yips. After that Atlanta game, that man was fucked up. We talked about this. We've talked about this several different times. That man was in should have been a concussion protocol for the next month. He's the sky looks funny. You can't lost his sense of smell. He's having trouble sleeping. And he pulled out of a flat spin. Absolutely pulled out of a flat spin and came back in 2018 ready to rock. And they finally got Amari Cooper because turns out, you know, your wide receiver one being
Doesn't
Cole
matter.
Beasley is yeah
Wide receiver does
isn't
matter.
a good plan. Yeah, so it's I wish people would finish the story on 2017. I was there. Don't tell me how it went. I was there. I know how it went. And they always leave that other part out.
Hmm.
And and that's the thing with with QB1. That's the way it's always been. It's always been, well, we won, but it wasn't because of him, and we lost, and it was because of him. Well, you can't have it both ways, but you can't have it both ways. You know,
But I don't
you're
think. I understand what you're coming from, but I don't think, Mike. I think I look at that that hourglass. That's why I get frustrated with people that don't like him, because I do. I watch him. I watch him play. I like him as a quarterback. I just don't have what some people do. In my opinion, I feel like these last 3 years, 2021, that was a little uneven. But I just feel like these last 3 years, when you had a team, it wasn't. I'm not sitting there saying you had the ultimate team, but I feel like you had enough, because when people say it's with 2022, you know, oh well, he didn't have blah blah. Well, before anybody hurt, that offense tore up the Bucks. You know what I'm saying? My thing
yeah.
is, I'm hoping with Schottenheimer, because I like Schottenheimer, because I feel like the thing about Schottenheimer, I think is going to be better than Mike McCarthy. Mike, and I want to get your opinion on it. I keep on saying he's like my birthday is mine, so I feel like I know his brain. He's a people person. People will talk to him. He will have open and real conversations. He will actually listen to you. He will say, "Hey, what do you feel?" And he will really mean it. Like, "Hey, what do you like right here? What do you think we should do better?" Like, he will really, in my opinion, really do that. I think his staff around him will really like him, because he's energetic. He's outgoing. He can meet anybody in their place. And just because it wasn't the name brand hire, I feel like those are the things a coach needs. I'm be honest with you. I was a coach. I feel like I was a damn good coach. I won championships as a coach, and I feel like one of the reasons why I was good as a coach, even though I did have youth, I didn't have grown men. But at the end of the day, the message is still the same if you bring it a certain way. If you're always,
It's
you know what I mean?
you know you know damn well you know what I'm talking. You know damn well I know what you're speaking on there because I
Hmm.
am in charge of people. You've been in charge of people.
Hmm.
Anybody who's in charge of people, it is not. I've talked about this ad nauseum on here. When you're a leader of men, when you're in charge, you got to give people the freedom to fail. You have to give them because giving them the freedom to fail gives them the freedom to succeed. And when you have someone in your corner like that, where you went out there and you did everything you thought was right, and you did everything, and okay, maybe you fucked up a play or two, maybe you fucked up a you know you're a bricklayer, maybe you messed up a pattern on one wall, and you had to redo it and it cost them a few hours. You're out there and you're trying, and you have the ability, the freedom to fail. The freedom to fail is very, very important.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
with when you know that you can go out there and you could fuck up and you're not going to get yanked, or you're not going to get fired, or you're not going to get sent home for 2 days without pay, or whatever the case may be, whatever your job is, man. I don't care if you're a fucking house cleaner or a pressure washer, a bricklayer, an NFL QB. I do not care. When you have the freedom to fail, when you know every play, every hour doesn't live or die on your employment, on your family, you play better, you work better because you're not in here. You are not in here, and you're not thinking, man, I can't. If I throw a pick here, man, they're gonna shit my ass off. You know, if I forget the dust behind the TV, they're gonna shit my ass off. And it's that type of atmosphere that I think Dottie will bring. I hate that. I hate the whole process behind it. I have no qualms about that. I will tell people that I hate the whole process behind it because I mean, they've interviewed more people for the offensive line coach than they have the head coach. You know what I mean? So it's that, but that has nothing to do with him. That has nothing to do with him. It's like when they paid Zeke. I didn't want him to do it, but it's not his fault he's making that money. They
Hmm.
did it. They did it. You know. So fuck what you can do. And I I think that with the assistant coach hires, what little I know about them, I like. I like how Shoddy has approached, his verbiage, and it's kind of 180 of McCarthy. McCarthy kind of had this thing where almost Jason Kidd like, where it's like he's half asleep all the time, and it was good, and that when you have that and you see it translate onto the field, like I talked about 6 days a week, for his entire tenure, the pre-snap penalties, the pre-snap penalties. Oh man, like that's on you. At a certain point, that's on you, and you never took any responsibility for it at all. You never took responsibility for it whatsoever.
I think that's the biggest thing that I have a problem with him, Mike, in my opinion, with his tenure here. And you said he would do this. I will give you the 100% credit that you said he would do this. You said he would deflect. You said when he first came in here that he never puts it on him. He always, well, just like when he was like, well, that's Kellen Moore. I mean, he's running the offense.
Hmm.
We're messing up because, I mean, he's doing it. But then it's like, okay, well, he ain't here now. Now it's on you. And you still having these same things happening. The offense was to shit for a while until you started trusting people and you kept on basically it was never you. It was always something else. No, why are you keep on having these same penalties throughout your whole career as a coach? Like this has been your MO. And for him never really to take it, and that's another difference between him and Schottenheimer in my opinion, because I feel like I said, I feel like I know this dude. Like, and it's I know what people think is weird, but I'm gonna just stand on this. The dude's birthday is one day after mine, bro, and like he's 1 year younger than me, and the background, we act the same. So the thing that I like about Schottenheimer, who Mike McCarthy won't do, Schottenheimer's will be a stand-up guy. I feel like I'm a stand-up dude. Like he,
Own something.
if he's
Own
in a
something.
if he's in a press conference, he will own it. I
Own it.
believe he
Own
he will
something.
definitely own it. He will definitely own it. Like, hey, yes, you're right. You got to get better, and that's on me. I got to be a better coach. I got to do this. I got to do that. And people don't want to hear that, but I feel like Mike wouldn't own up to certain things and be like, oh well, it is. But where I
Uh,
feel like Shotty is more
he would kind of
accountable.
Jerry Jones you. He would kind of Jerry Jones you and just kind of paddleboard through the wake, and the next thing you know, your question hadn't been answered, but he's been talking for 10 minutes. Own something. Be like, hey, you know what? We
I
weren't ready
suck
for them to
today.
hit that. We weren't ready for them to hit that jet sweep, and I should have been ready. I should have been ready. They showed us a look. They showed us a look. I should have been ready. You know, that's all it takes. And I'll never, until it gets to like, dozens of instances, I
Hmm.
will never, ever, ever fault a coach or a manager, same thing. Well, no matter what job you have, that's what people get confused is in the NFL, the NBA, MLB, NHL, PGA, a coach is still just a manager of people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still a job. It's still a job. And you say, fuck, hey, it's a bad day. But this won't happen again. And you go out there and you show that that won't happen again. You're prepared for that scenario, whatever that was. Um, you know, say, okay, so I'll use a real life instance right here. In
And before
2009,
before you finish before you finish
yes,
that
sir.
though, Mike, I agree with what you're saying, but it's the truth. Those
Yeah,
penalties that you talked about that we've seen, right? And I want you to come with that thought after that. Those penalties, I've coached, okay? And we were never a highly penalized team because we just didn't do it. I didn't stand for that. And if we did do it, practice was going to be held the whole week, and they didn't want to
you
deal with
practice,
that.
you practice,
I
you
practiced
practice
that shit up
lining
out of
up
you,
all fucking week,
and we didn't
all
talk. We
fucking
didn't
week.
do nothing the whole week, dog. We didn't do nothing. We did
Hard counts,
that.
whistles, all that. You're like,
That's it. Because
you're
we're
not gonna
not
move.
going to do this again next week. And once you discipline the mind, it will happen. When those mistakes keep happening, that's lacking discipline. And that falls
Yes,
on the head coach.
yes, absolutely. I don't even need to make. I'll get. I'll just. The only reason I was going to say this is to relate it to. I'm not perfect, and I have fucked up badly before. In 2007, I was in charge of a crew, a public works crew. I worked for a local municipality, and we had a storm coming in. I didn't get the chainsaws ready. I didn't have the backhoe ready to rock. I didn't have our equipment ready, and I should have because I thought it was going to work. I didn't buy new chains. I didn't make somebody go out there the last half of the day. My crew go out there the last half of the day and get everything ready because we were already on something else. It would have made them be on overtime. Everybody was tired as hell. Guess what happened? Saturday hit, the storm hit, chainsaw wouldn't start, backhoe blew a hydraulic line. It was a nightmare. It cost us it cost us 20 hours of back-breaking labor when if I had done my job properly to prepare, that would have been like a 6 hour thing. Tops.
Mm-hmm.
You know what didn't happen ever again was that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was on me. That was 100% on me. I took my ass
Did you
whipping.
own it?
I
Did
went,
you own it to your crew?
dude, I went in, I said, I worked harder than anybody on that
Mm-hmm.
crew.
Right.
There were guys that
So
went
they could
home.
see that. So they could see that.
I said, oh, guys, I'm
Right.
sorry.
That's
I
what you have
should
to
have.
do.
And then I went
Mm-hmm.
in there. I went to this fucking city manager's office, and I stood in front of her desk, and I said, "I'm sorry. I should have been more prepared. I thought the storm was going to miss us. It didn't, because I would have spent money not needed had that storm not hit us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But when you see how it turns out of not being prepared, that that's something I'll never forget. What little dollars that I saved and somebody got to go home for dinner in time instead of you know getting the chainsaws and checking the lines on the backhoe and stuff because we had trees down across the road, people couldn't leave their homes, like it was bad. um there's stuff you can control, and McCarthy wasn't controlling the things he could control.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter where you work, it doesn't matter what job you have, there's still
You shouldn't
things you
have
can
the
control
same issues every
at time
because
and
at the end of the
time and
day,
time.
well, they're going to get rid of you, Mike. And give a shout
Yeah,
out to my guy Kenneth Law. He says, "Keep up the great work. You two never disappoint." Salutes to you. I appreciate you, Kenneth Law. Always here, always donating. Just I definitely appreciate you. But we go with that, Mike. You can't make the excuse for it. I mean,
constantly. I'll give you
it's
one.
and it's when it's I don't know. It's when it matters most. Like, go ahead and give me one.
They're the opposite of Kansas City. They're the absolute opposite of Kansas City. When Kansas City's defense or offense, like, look, fuck it, we'll leave Mahomes out of it. When Kansas City's special teams or defense needs to get a play, they need it. Nobody can fuck up. Nobody, everybody do their job. What happens? They do it. They do it. Mahomes on the sideline. Mahomes got nothing to do with this. All of a sudden, Carl Loftus back there just giving somebody hell. It's the discipline, the day in and day out discipline and attention to detail and time on task. Time on task. I know you know that one. Time on
Mm-hmm.
task.
Mm-hmm.
It shows. And I shed this 6 days a week, 6 days a week about McCarthy. He's good about keeping the guys healthy. He's good about, making sure everybody, but when it comes to game day, they weren't ready. They were not ready for his entire tenure. They weren't ready.
Yeah.
That's why I knew we were going to get fucking smoked by Green Bay because that team was ready.
Well, let's be honest. You're right. You're totally right, Mike. But let's be honest. Just like you just said, you can't say, it's almost like we knew we would talk about this before the game, Mike. If we have that first three and out, it's a wrap. It's gonna be
Yeah,
bad because this dude, bro, like how many times you just said it, Mike, how we've seen this team look unprepared, like mentally. Like they be looking unprepared mentally, like they be a step short or a step late, and you like, how are y'all playing like this? And this is a big game, and y'all are doing these goofy things. And then I get tired of we get down because we playing lackadaisical, we getting penalties, doing all this and that, and then all of a sudden the light turns on and we score 30 points in freaking a quarter, and then all of a sudden playing smart football. That's the stuff I don't like because it should be consistent. Because if that's
yeah.
consistent, what you're doing in them comebacks, you never have to come back. You're winning. You're never coming
It's
back if
like
you do this early.
you see it. It's like you see they can do it.
You got
So
the talent to do it.
why didn't they do it to start with? Because somebody at the top is like, here's how we're going to do things. And Jones boys. There's it goes back to the rot at the top of the food chain, man. Because you're not trying to tell me these guys just mysteriously forget how to play football, and then when time comes, they can click it. That's that ain't how shit works, Bubba. So
Yeah.
I put
But
my
I
damn.
mean, as I said before, when I we got to look at, free agency. Obviously, that's what I'm looking at. I heard this song before. I've heard this excitement before. I've seen this song and dance before. But I will honestly say this: between me watching, and I don't know what kind of coach Schottenheimer might be, but compared to Mike McCarthy, I like his mindset better. Jason Garrett, I just feel like I don't hate on how Jason Garrett was like. I think he was meticulous. I think, but I just feel like you just not a you just not like a head. I don't know. I can't explain it. I just feel like you're
I
not a
can't.
head coach.
You want me to help you out there?
Yes, I don't know how
Is
to
he
explain
is
that.
he is consistency. He is that man ate the same lunch every day at the same time every day in the same cafeteria every day for his entire tenure. Turkey club, white bread, bam, consistent. He was consistent. The problem is his consistency wasn't at a level needed. When you get the consistency at a level needed, you get a guy like Andy Reid. I ain't even going to say Belichick because Belichick. That's the craziest thing about that whole thing is, Belichick did everything he could to tear that franchise down with his draft picks and shit. Somehow they kept winning. So that's a weird situation. But
I
when you
just knew
have
this,
somebody,
Mike. I never felt we would win with Garrett. I just didn't
no,
never have the feeling. I
absolutely not.
felt like you would win some games, but you're never going to take it. Now, I'm not sitting there saying Schottenheimer takes somebody to the promised land, but I'm just saying this as far as the mentality of the head coach. And I look at the coaches that have been here, I am more happier in my opinion. That's why when people are like, "Oh, this is over," I never hated the hire when they first did it because I was like, "Shotty's a good dude. And even when we did our first video, when you were like, man, I don't like the process. I said, Mike, I agree. You said, man, I don't like this. They're gonna blame it that. I said, Mike, I agree. I said, but you can't disagree and say that this guy, he's a people like he will really help this team mentally. And because he's so good with his wordplay, I feel like it can affect Stephen Jones. I feel like he can come in and be like, come on, Steven. Hey, because he'd know how to butter Steven up. He's good with the wordplay. I'm telling you, these Libras is good with the word.
And
Know how to butter you up to get what he wants. And that's because you got
they
to
want to
see
be right.
when that's what I just said, though. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah.
Because they want to
They
be
want to be right.
right. And if he comes like, hey, man, and if he comes with that spirit of, because when I seen him sit down, okay, this is what I noticed. This is what I know he's doing. I know he's doing this. I just feel it. You remember when Stephen Jones sat down at the press? I don't remember if you remember this, but they both sat down at the press conference at the same time. When they both sat down at the press conference at the time, he patted Stephen real hard on his chest, like, let's go, let's go. Stephen's face was red. He was so geeked up and excited, like somebody loves me, like
Well,
somebody
that
loves
was
me.
that
And I
Peruvian.
think,
That was that Peruvian marching powder.
but see, that's that. But listen, that's that to me. That's that part of maybe I have to manipulate you in a way so I can get what I want. So if I got to make you feel so good about yourself, Steven, like you're the great, maybe you're like, you know what? I might go out there and get this player for you. I'm telling you, Mike, trust what I say on this, that I think because of his wordplay, of who he is and as
I'm
a
tracking.
person, he can sway these guys to possibly do
I'm I'm
things they
I'm
ain't
I'm,
never did.
I'm tracking. My only problem, my only hang up is look at history and don't
I
get
know.
over your skis and don't get rug pulled. They're pumping and dumping right now. We've
Yeah.
seen this. We've seen this. We've seen it. We literally seen it with McCarthy.
But
They're pumping.
McCarthy was
They're
not their
pump.
hand. But listen to this though, Mike. Listen to this though, Mike. I agree. But McCarthy was not like a hand-picked guy. Like he was a safe pick too because you're going with somebody who already went to a Super Bowl, who was sitting out, who's got a track record of this and that. And in this instance, you don't have anything to go on with Shotty. If anything, it looks all bad from the outside in. So that's the only reason why I'm saying, Mike, McCarthy was not a handpicked guy. When they handpick a guy, they want to be right too. When they handpick, because they want to tell the world, just like when they keep their little free agents and they want to do it this way, because we both agree on this, Mike. They want to tell the world, yeah, we did it this way. And yes, this was our guy. We brought Shotty in. We gave him a chance. So I feel like if they're saying that to what we've been talking about, they'll be like, well, since we did this and we don't want to look stupid because we're putting our necks on the line because everybody's going to clown us because they say he shouldn't be a head coach anyway. Guess what? I might go get a free agent for you this time. Guess what? I might do this. And because the coach knows how to butter you up with his wordplay and make you feel all good inside and he knows how to relate to everybody, it makes it easier for you maybe to go out and spend. I don't know. Everybody always say I'm being negative, but I'm being hella positive when I'm telling you this.
Um, if you want me to spend some hopium, you want me to sell some hopium here? Here's how we can look at. Here's how we can look at this, and it's we're gonna get rug pulled, and I'm gonna even regret saying this. You're talking about handpicking a guy. They were left reeling because McCarthy said no, because they were talking about bringing Witten on staff. They
Yeah.
talked to Kellen. They wanted to bring Witten on staff. Both those guys told them no. Okay, fuck. Okay, we can't force Witten on somebody. What do we do now? Okay, Scotty. All right, Scotty, save us. What's going on? Because make no mistake, McCarthy saying no to them put them on their heels. They didn't know what they thought that was going to be a foregone conclusion. That man was going to sign back up, and here we go, and we're going to, we'll put Witten on him because what the fuck else is he going to do? Because we're the Dallas Cowboys. McCarthy said no, left them at the altar. Same thing with Kelly. So they're like, fuck. Okay, maybe we need to
Who's the
switch
one
up.
guy who's desperate and he would love this opportunity?
But yeah, exactly. But at the same time, it's like
I know what you're
maybe
about
we
to
should try,
say. Go ahead, say it.
this other road. Maybe. And that attitude may change between scotches. But for the time being, they brought in, I would say brought in, because they technically did. I mean, it's not like they knew him for years. They knew his
Mm-hmm.
dad.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a nepo hire on that. But
Mm-hmm.
um, Ben Johnson wasn't coming here.
Mm-hmm.
Joe
Neither was
Brady
Aaron
wasn't
Glenn.
coming here.
None of them were coming
No,
here.
they were. You don't want Aaron Glenn. You don't want a defensive head coach. You don't want that. And hope. God damn it. I hate using that word because I know where it leads with this team. But the hope would be, should I say? Let me phrase it that way. The hope would be that you see the coaching hires and stuff brought on, even though he didn't have a say in Eberflus, because they hired Eberflus before they hired Shoddy.
Mm-hmm.
I know they said the interview was that, but they hired Eberflus the Thursday before they hired Shoddy. Um, so he didn't get to pick that, which I don't really give a fuck, honestly. I don't. What's a head coach know about a defensive coordinator? What's a first time head coach know about a defensive coordinator? Whatever. That is what it is. It'll work or it won't. You know, but they're letting. It seems like they're letting him assemble his offensive staff, which is more grace than Mike McCarthy ever got. Because back to that point of, oh fuck, maybe McCarthy told us no, Kellen told us no. Maybe we need to reevaluate how we're looking and the parameters we want to put on this situation. Maybe we shouldn't make Jason Witten part of the deal because Jason Witten was 100% part of the deal. David
Facts.
Moore, I give him a lot of shit. David Moore doesn't make shit up. He doesn't. Mr. First Question does not make shit up. You know who wasn't at the press conference for the new head coach? Hadn't missed a press conference in 30 fucking years? David Moore wasn't there because he's been calling out Jerry for being cheap and he let the Witten shit out in the media. He got his hand slapped. One of the biggest water carriers in the world for the team set some truce and got his hand slapped. Now you wonder why these random ass reporters from KXII or whatever. Why don't y'all ask them the tough questions? Motherfucker, you end up in the desert. That's why.
Exactly. Especially if you ain't known.
You-
You have to have 20
hey,
years in it. You have to have 20
dude,
years in it.
they sent Jane Slater to the Saints. They sent her ass to the gulag for that Mike Nolan report, and that's a well respected, tenured reporter. Shipped her ass off. So I ask him the tough questions, man. I don't I
Ed
don't know
Werder said
what
the same thing. He
I don't.
said, I've covered the Cowboys for over 20 years, and he said Jerry has looked at him like, are you credentialed to be here? Are you
Yeah,
Jerry? Jerry said I'll fire you on to the 105 people. So you got to think that he don't give a hell.
he fired Babe Loffenberger before, off the broadcast. Fired his ass. Like I don't know what universe y'all live in, but the universe I live in, pissing off billionaires isn't great to your life expectancy. That's all.
Hmm. Well, your media life expectancy will be over.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That and it's fun to say that behind a keyboard. Oh, what you ask him? What you tell him he sucks? Won't you tell him they don't know how to run this,
And
that,
you'll
and the
never
other.
answer another question again.
You never, you motherfucking, you be shoveling snow in motherfucking Siberia by Tuesday morning, brother. Like, let's be real here, man.
That's
We're
true.
talking about a
I
damn.
agree. I agree. But like I said, I'm sitting back and I'm not. Sitting back and waiting and seeing. All I'm saying is from the outside in. We just what you just said is We don't like the process. We don't like how they do it. They still doing the same goofy things. So in the back of your mind, you're thinking y'all ain't gonna change because y'all still did it the same way. Y'all did it and we don't like that way, but you're still doing it that way. So it will lead you to believe that, man, this is gonna be this the same old shit. You're gonna play this dude as the puppet guy and try to manipulate and whatever. But I seen, like I said, at least the first year Jason Witten ain't on here. And as I said before, I'm gonna watch free agency. Steven said, and I ain't heard him, and I ain't pumping this up or nothing. I ain't heard him say, well, maybe we might do something a little bit different in free agency this time. Maybe we might do that. I ain't heard him say that. I heard him staunchly say, we're not doing that, no matter what. This time I heard him say, well, you know what? Maybe we might do it a little different. But that goes back to me with two things. One, y'all want to be right because y'all picked this dude and ain't nobody pick him. And everybody expects it to fail. So that's why y'all might come out of your zone just to prove people right. And if that's what has to happen, if y'all want to prove people right so bad that you have to make change, I'm for that crap. Go ahead and prove to the world. If it makes you change, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
If you want to prove the world that you're the
that's
smartest motherfuckers in the world, I hate it because I don't. The Joneses get on my nerves. Well, I think Steven
I
gets on
want
my nerves
Scotty to
more than
fail just so they're wrong. Is that bad?
that's that. No, it's not. That's where I was just about to lead. This is where I'm at, and I'm gonna ask everybody who's in this chat right now. And Micah, you just answered. You just said what I said. This is the part where I'm so confused in my head. Part of me is like, damn, I like Schottenheimer. And boy, the staff he put in, I think they could do something if Steven and them actually do something. I'm like, yeah, that part of me is like, oh, yes. But then I got that other side. It's like the angel and the devil. That other side is like, man, F them. F them Joneses. I don't want them to win no games because I don't want them to look right in front of nobody because of their pompous, goofy ass attitudes. And I don't want them to be proven right because of how they do it. And it's not the right way how they do it, but then they get off on a, doing well. So I don't want to see them succeed. So that's where I'm at. Part of me is like, I like Schottenheimer. The other part is me, I don't want you to see Joneses to succeed. So my mind is going different ways and pulling different ways all the time because I love my Cowboys just like me and you talked about. We love the Cowboys, the,
The idea of them.
the idea of them. But everything
I ain't
else
switching
is
teams
like,
because that's the
what?
sucker shit. But be damned if I just say Cowboys for life and just fucking ignore all the bullshit. That ain't how I'm wired, bro. But that switching team shit, that's some cuck energy, weird
Yeah,
weirdo.
I
I
ain't doing
can't
that.
do that.
See, they
Well,
feeling me. I mean, they all feeling us, Mike. They feel the same way. They do tired of damn Jones, but they like, damn, I ain't hating Shotty though. Shotty ain't no bad dude. Like, we don't like how it was even done. It was effed up how they did. They make us sick how they did it. But then you look at Schottenheimer,
motherfucker
you like,
cried in
I
his
kind of
press
like this
conference.
dude. You feel me? Like, I kind of like this dude though. And I feel like, bruh, I think the players are gonna like him. I feel like he can get people the most. I feel like he's gonna have them things. I don't want you fools to be right, but damn it, I like him. That's what pisses me off.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like I don't know, man. It's like almost somebody like marrying your sister and they're a piece of shit. But then they kind of get their life together, but you still don't like, he bulls his ribs and he microwaves his chicken breast to death. He cooks everything to 190 degrees, but he treats you right. And you're like, fuck, you know, he's still a bum, but my sister happy. So he don't beat on her. He don't
Right.
cheat on her,
Yeah.
but he cleaned the house up, right? He got a decent job. Like, damn, like she could do better. She could do so much better, but I mean, she could do a hell of a lot worse.
Right.
That last man was tuning her up, you know. I had to
Mm-hmm.
go over there and pull the strap out last time. Like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's just damn.
Exactly. I have that exact feeling. Damn. I want my
Damn.
Cowboys to win and I want the Joneses to lose. Now, how does that happen?
How do we get those things at the same time? How do we get? How do we get? How do
I
we
want
make those
my
things happen?
Cowboys to win. I want you Jones to lose. Now, how does that
Dude,
happen?
seeing Steven Jones in handcuffs would. Oh, bro. It'd be like when the first time I found some porn out in the woods. Every I know you an '80s baby. Every '80s baby found some porn out in the woods,
I'm
dude.
a 70s baby.
You find some porn out in the woods, dude. See a cat boy in handcuffs, that would hit. Oh my god, dude, that would hit. That would hit.
It's crazy. That's my battle in my mind that I'm dealing with, and I hate it.
It's fucked up, like, and that's I feel the same way, bro. Like, the process is all fucked up. They found the man down the hall. This is no different than when Arnold Schwarzenegger knocked up his house cleaner. He was horny. He didn't know what else to do. Shit was hitting, had it all tucked into his waist belt. He didn't know what to do with it. He popped open the door and said, "Oh, come here," and then here we go. That's what they did with Shoddy, and God, I hope it works out. And it's I love that we're lockstep on this because we know that the process is fucked up. We don't agree with it. We want the man himself to succeed because you can tell he's a good person and he knows how to relate to people. The other side of this is the man's been a coordinator for 20 years and hasn't got a head coach offer, which is not good, to say
No,
the
he
least.
said he had a couple opportunities, but he said he wasn't ready for those opportunities, and then he was mad at himself because he said I should have took those opportunities, and I didn't, and now I'm mad at myself because I feel like it was never going to come around again.
That's a cute story.
You think he's lying, bro? I don't think he wasn't
I,
lying.
I, I, I all I said
I
was
don't think
that's a
he's
cute
lying.
story. That's a cute story. All I know is there's only 32 of these jobs, and people don't turn them down all the time. So if you want to believe the fairy tale that this man turned down several head coaching opportunities along the way, then I have a bridge for sale. It's right outside of Panama, and only thing is it doesn't exist, but you can buy it.
Okay. All I can honestly
But
say that, but I can honestly say in that story you told me, I had that opportunity when I was coming. I had been a youth football coach for about 8 years, Mike, and my head coach moved on to a high school, and he wanted me to be the secondary coach. I'm not gonna be lying. I was excited about the opportunity, but I didn't trust myself, Mike. I didn't. I didn't feel like I was ready, bro. And maybe I just got scared, man. All that bullshit. Maybe I just got scared.
hey,
So
shout
I
out to
call it
Kenny
what you
Rogers,
want,
brother.
you know.
Shout out to Kenny Rogers.
But, but I didn't do it though. You feel me? And
Yeah.
to this day, I was like, I regret it. Now I have an opportunity to do it again. I'm gonna take the opportunity. So I can say I'm not saying him, but I can say that does happen because that to me was the big leagues, and I always wanted to get in there and do it. But I just was like, I don't feel like I'm ready, and I
I
don't want to really flop.
I turned down a promotion on Thursday, something I was actually shooting for. Um, the juice wasn't worth the squeeze, and you never know because that's what people forget with this NFL shit. From the players or NBA, MLB, NHL, any of that, it's still a job, still a job, and all that bullshit that comes with the job is still there.
I
You
like this
still
right
have
here. Read
upper,
that, Mike. You got your phone? I'm gonna read this to you. I like
yeah.
this comment right here. The only way I see Shotty winning and the Joneses losing if the media, both old and new, talk up Shotty's success and downplay the Joneses. That ain't gonna happen. They won't let it. That's the problem.
Well, I
But
mean,
I agree with that.
that's a cute story once again.
They would
So,
manipulate that. You feel me?
yeah,
They're not gonna let if they
no,
talk too much. Jerry would stop that.
the narrative.
Jerry would
They
stop that.
control the narrative.
Jerry would stop that. I feel what you're saying, Frederick. Though I agree with what you're saying. I feel what you're
I
saying.
mean,
But
look at
Jerry would not allow that because he mainly wants to be right.
Look at Bones Fossil. He took a lateral move just to get up out of here to the Titans. Nobody gives a fuck about the Titans. Titans ain't winning shit ever. And he took a lateral move to get up out of here. Do with that information what you will.
Dealing with the devil, bro.
That it is. It is. It is 100% that, bro. It is
Dealing with the
100%
devil.
that.
This is what it
Like
this is. You're just dealing with the
the
devil.
the the hatred that I have in my heart for the Jones family. Not
I don't
Charlie.
hate Jerry. I don't hate Jerry like that. I
I
don't.
hate you know
Steven, I do. In football terms.
racist
In
ass
football
deadbeat
terms,
dad.
I don't. I'm saying I'm not. Understand, Jerry gets on my nerves, but I hate Stephen more. I just hate him more because you said it yourself, that motherfucker don't care about being liked or whatever. And just his
Mm-mm.
evil smile, he just looked like a snake, bro.
Dude,
He looked like a
he
snake.
makes me want to throw up my
He
entire
makes
fucking
me,
spinal cord every
yeah.
time I see his face.
I don't know nothing about Jerry Jr., so I can't speak on him.
But
Can't speak on
Stevens
Jerry Jr.
is a piece
Steven's the
of
one.
fuck. He's a piece of shit,
Yeah, he
man.
is. Now, I don't call people piece of shit like you do, but today I will.
He's a that man deserves it. That man deserves it.
He's
And
so fake with it. I mean, he's
dude,
real when he tells you to your face, yeah, blah blah blah. But bro, he's just so whack.
that man is 60 years old wearing clear frame sunglasses. You know, it's just so much. Like I just the thought of him makes me lose my appetite. There, God, I hate that motherfucker, man, because he's a bad person. Like
Yeah, I feel it. Well, we're getting ready to close it out because we hit that 1 hour mark. I appreciate it. We had a great crowd today. Everybody was very participating. We love all that goodness. Appreciate my dog, Mr. Kenny Locke, for the 2 donations of $9.99. Like I said, appreciate y'all. Love y'all.
down
Um,
50 at the half. Oh my God.
wow. But you know what? They didn't have Kyrie didn't play.
Bro, they're down 50 at the half. I don't care if you.
Marshall, I know, and yeah, but this is you got to understand. You know it yourself, Mike. In sports, this is a letdown game. They're not playing today. Their minds ain't. Their their mind ain't on no playing no basketball today. Let's keep it real. So they don't give a f. They don't give a f about this game today. And they're playing the Cavs. Cavs gonna whoop that ass. And they ain't got nobody playing. They don't care about this game today. That's why they're gonna be down 15. You've seen this before. It's just like me and you, Mike. If me and you were playing ball, right, and we had one of our dogs just got taken away from us out of nowhere. That next game, we ain't gonna be up to just do that first game.
I'll be straight up. I'll be like, my tummy hurts. I'm going home.
We would be up for that, Mikey. You know, we'd
My
be like, all
tummy
right, we'll catch
hurts.
you the game after that, but not this one. F
Yeah,
y'all.
my tummy hurts.
Not
And
that first
me and
game.
you, dude, they catch us. We get put out on the internet because we be down the street at the bar taking tequila shots and shit.
Exactly. These motherfuckers don't care. They
Like
don't care.
here's a big game and Mike. We caught him rolling a backwood up behind.
I can't play today, coach. I don't feel good.
My tummy hurt. I ain't feeling it.
Facts.
We gonna go eat some bacon wrapped shrimp and roll a backwood. I'll catch y'all later.
Facts, dog. Like for real. But that first game, nah, I ain't caring. After that first game, I'm not gonna care. Next games after that, I'm gonna be dialed back in. But that first one, the initial, and I gotta play the next day, and my dog is going. Nah, I'm out.
No,
No,
nah,
not that
I
game.
ain't.
I'm done. I'm not doing
Uh,
nothing that game.
where Ricky at? Oh, Ricky gone. What do you mean
Yeah,
Ricky gone?
I'm not playing that.
Nah,
F all
my tummy hurts, coach. I'm good. I'm good.
Well, we're gonna see, dog. You know, like I said, free agency is gonna be what we'll see. We'll see if it really. All I'm doing is waiting and seeing. I ain't getting hyped, but you know, I think we said it all in this show how the true feelings are, and we'll just see if they want to prove people so wrong that they actually step out and do it. That's all I'm gonna see because it's on the front office. It ain't on nobody else. It's the front office. Y'all did
Mhm.
this, so y'all got to do it.
Yeah.
So
On that
we'll
note,
see.
brother, I got to get the grill going for when I still got daylight. It gets dark as a motherfucker out here really quick.
I know,
Dude,
right?
it'll be dark in an hour.
Uh-huh.
So
Same here. Same here. It'll be the
yeah.
same thing out here.
So I got to get the grill going. Sorry for the delay, guys. Took a little nap. Nap was longer than I intended. But thank y'all for coming out. Love you,
Mm-hmm.
brother. We go get.
Appreciate you. Love
I'm
you,
gonna go
dog.
get this grill going, bro. Thank y'all.
Peace. All right, and just like that, I'm gonna be out too. Appreciate everybody that's in the building. Tay Cowboys, everybody, my sis. Shout out to you. I got to talk to you about that with the money you sent. But appreciate all y'all listening. Like I said, that's what I'm with the Cowboys. I like Schottenheimer. I don't want him to fail, but I want the Joneses. I don't know how that works. Ugh, it's a dirty game. It's a terrible world to live in when you feel like that about your team, and you can't stand ownership. It's kind of like with the Mavs right now. I mean, sports is a crazy world, but I definitely appreciate everybody joining the building. Thank y'all for coming in, and we'll be talking to you next week. See, we have more to go. Big Game James. I'm out. Peace. Okay, I hit y'all.